Browns are the worst team in baseball. Sure beats the Super Bowl. Uh, 1911. Chicago White Sox at the St. Louis Browns. Keep myself from going out of my mind. Browns. And the White Sox. See, this is the third of a three-game series. The White Sox took the first two. Oop. Oh, let's see. 419. 418. Replay. Let's take a look here. 1911. Chicago played the Browns on the 16th, 17th. They were off the 18th, and they played the final game the 19th. There it is. There. Take my time doing this. Oh, 1962. 1911. Good thing I have these handy. 1911. 1911 ballpark effects in St. Louis. Okay. Let's check out their records. We are early on, April 19th. The White Sox are 3-2. One game out. They've won 3 in a row. They lost their first 2. St. Louis 1-5. Wow. 3 and 1/2 out. And they've lost 4 in a row. 3-2, 1-5. Just to let you all know, the White Sox came in 4th place. About an average team. They were 77 and 74. The Browns came in last place, 45 and 107. Oh, Connell, Zyder, McIntyre, Doherty, Callahan, looking for Tannenhill. Oh, what's the use? Lee Tannenhill. Oh, what's the use here? Maybe he's on another team. 1911. He's got to be here. The fuck is he? Did I put him in here? Hold on. That really sucks. Here he is. I put him in there by accident. Okay. Tex Jones. Can't find Tex Jones. There he is. You know, when you get in Fred Payne, when you get away from this, Jim Scott is the pitcher. It's hard to get back. The 2WR. 2WR. There. Oh, let's get the browns. White Sox won this one 6-3 real world. Hoffman, Boston, Murray, Laporte. Now where's Jay Clark? Wonder if that's Nidge Clark. Yes. Pat Newman. Gus Williams. And Wallace. Let me get Gus Williams. Shit. Christ. 1911 had 29 at bats, a 269 hitter. We'll just go with someone else. Gus Williams, left field, against Scott, a right-hander. I'm not going to use a nameless player or anything like that. Bert Shotton and Wallace. Bert Shotton, some of you may remember him. I think he was a manager of the Dodgers. I could be wrong. And the pitcher is Doty Chris. Oh shit. Doty Chris also has a hitting cord. But when he's pitching, he used the pitcher's hitting cord. Let's see if I can find him. My Lord. Batting. Pitching. He pitched 18 innings. Oh, yeah. Well, let me go with somebody else. It's ridiculous. Maybe Barney Pelty. Let me just check. That's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Yeah, we can use him. Okay, that's what we'll do. Barney Pelty. And he is a 2WR. You gotta be careful. They do some weird things using people for pictures. And we're gonna put these in here. Scott and Pelty. Scott is 2-0 already. Holy shit. God. Pelty has no record. I want to make sure there's not a second Scott in here. Nope. We're going to use them. I can just check here on the White Sox. This guy's Scott. What can be a more meaningless game? Yes, Scott pitched there. God, he must have got some wins in relief. Let me take a look here. Yep, Scott 1-0. This is impossible. He won on the 17th, 2-0. He's 2-0, not 3-0. Does it really frickin' matter? I don't know how I got him for 2-0, 3-0. Oh, I do have him as 2-0. That's right. Okay. No, he is 2-0. I'll go through the lineups as I enter them. Oh. Okay. For the White Sox, it's Amby McConnell leading off at second base. Raleigh Zider batting second, playing third base. Think about that these people actually lived. Matty McIntyre batting third. Oh shit. Oh shit. I put him in the wrong order. Daugherty, Callahan, and McIntyre goes here. So that's easy enough to fix. Oh shit. There. Okay, so it's Zider batting third. We'll put him in shortly when that dries. Now Daugherty batting fourth. Playing left field. Nixie Callahan, he also goes by Jimmy. Right field. 4 plus 2, 10. Batting sixth is McIntyre. Center field. Lee Tannenhill. What the fuck? Oh shit. I'm looking at the wrong dates. My God. For this lineup. Jesus. You believe the shit that I go through? Well, we'll just McConnell. McIntyre does go here. Well, I gotta set this up again. God. McConnell, Zider, McIntyre, Daugherty, Callahan, Tannenhill, Tex Jones, Fred Payne, and Scott. Okay, so this is second. Zider at short. My God, what a freaking pain in the ass. Then there's McIntyre in center. Daugherty in left. Callahan in right. Tannenhill will go here. We're going to get this right. Oh, I have to Callahan Tannenhill. Tex Jones at first. Fred Payne, the catcher. Be 0. So let this all dry here. We'll go back to fix that. We'll get it right. I want this game to be epic. Okay, Zyder is the shortstop in this game. 388. 388, can you believe that? A lot of people make errors. And here's Tannenhill. Third base. .356. There we go. So we have pitcher, catcher, first, third, second, short, center, left, right. And now for St. Louis, Danny Hoffman leading off in center. Hopefully we won't make any errors doing this. I do have the right game, the 19th. Yeah. Jimmy Austin. At third base. He's a 144. Jim Murray in right. Frank Laporte at second. Nidge Clark, or Jay Clark, behind the plate. Patrick Noonan, first base. Bert Schotten. In the left. Bobby Wallace at short. That's going to be pitcher, catcher, first, short, second, third, center, right, left. And here's your lineups. And this game is in Sportsman's Park 3. Sportsman's Park 3. God. Oh. Attendance for this game is 1,200. My guess is that's an estimate. This is Sportsman's Park 3. I can't find it. They've changed that stadium so many times. So many times. So we'll just be satisfied to check out the players. And the St. Louis Browns take the field. We are in St. Louis. Browns are 1-5, off to an early start. Barney Pelty on the mound. Pelty. He was called the Yiddish Curver because he was one of the first Jewish baseball players in the American League. He died at age 58. Of what, I do not know. His parents immigrated to the U.S. from Prussia at the age of 17, when he was 17. And again, what he died of, I do not know. And leading it off for the Chicago White Sox, who are 3-2, is Amby McConnell. Amby McConnell. Died at age 59. He hit into the first unassisted triple play in baseball history. Good morning, Joel Horland. Okay, so Pelty is ready. Okay, here's Pelty, the windup. Pitch to Amby McConnell. That's 6'10", left-handed, grounds it to short X. That'll be for Wallace, 252. If he can't get it, it could be trouble. 16-2. He throws him out. So Amby McConnell grounds out to first. And here's Raleigh Zeider up to the plate. Raleigh Zeider died at age 83. He lived a nice long life. One out, nobody on. Pelty winds, and the pitch, 5-6 right-handed, flies it to left for Schotten. He makes the catch, it's 2 away. And here's Matty McIntyre. Matty McIntyre steps in the batter's box. He died at age 39. He died of tuberculosis, a common cause of death. Bill Ivamy, I thank you. A cerebral hemorrhage for Barney Pelty. Here's McIntyre, who died of tuberculosis, age 38. Here's Pelty now. 3-7 right-handed, flies it to center, and Hoffman is under it. He makes the catch. And the side is retired. So a 1-2-3 inning for Pelty. We've gone a half. It's the White Sox nothing, and the Browns are coming up Here's Jim Scott, already 2-0 on the season. If anyone wants to do what I'm doing, feel free, and I'll read your text, but I'm looking these people up. He died at age 68. That was about average. He died at age 68. That was about average back then. Maybe a little more. And Danny Hoffman leads it off. Danny Hoffman, the leadoff hitter, died at age 42. He batted a ball into the outfield, which struck and killed a horse. This is when he played for the Springfield Ponies. That's a coincidence, isn't it? Lord. My Lord. Okay, Scott is ready. Facing Hoffman. 3-7 right-handed, walked him. So Hoffman is on. 1-17. 1-15 being held. And here's Jimmy Austin. He had 81 at bats, and he's playing here. He was in this lineup, real world. Here's Jimmy Austin now. We're gonna play a little small ball. Austin has a chapter in his classic book, The Glory of Their Times. Okay. Jimmy Austin is the batter. That's a great book. I used to have it. I don't know what I did with it. Austin died at age 85. And the famous photograph of Austin's buttocks in 1909, when Cobb stole second base or third base, I'm not sure which, but that's a very, very famous picture. And that's Austin right there. This, yeah. So Austin steps in. He is an A bunter. Infield is back. He's an A bunter. It's hit to first. 6A defense has a chance to go for Danny Hoffman, 1-12. That's second. -4, 1 to 8. And the first baseman, Jones, 1 to 11. I think they'll go with a shore out here. So Austin lays a sacrifice and Hoffman goes to second base. Now here's Jim Murray. The Browns 1-5 in the season. Ritter gave the interviews a percentage of his income from the book, the interviewees. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. I don't know if Ritter was a physician or an attorney or something, you know. Okay, Jim Murray steps in the batter's box. Jim Murray it was a great book. And, you know, a lot of the recordings are on YouTube. He died at age 67, Jim Murray did. Born and died in Galveston, Texas. Okay, Murray steps in. Here's the pitch from Scott. 5-5 right-handed and home run. He's got the power, 1-3. It's to left field, and Doherty makes the catch. Again, it was a 5-5 right-handed. And home run 1-3. It was a 9. He's got the power. That's 2 outs. And here's Frank Laporte. Crowd of about 1,200 here, watching this ball game. And this will be a clutch situation. Frank Laporte, he lived a long time for his era. Well, about average, 71. He was born in Italy, died in Illinois. He was actually close to, had relationships with the Chicago mob, including Al Capone. He was believed to have been a member of the Chicago outfit. And he was exposed in a newspaper article, Chicago Daily News, as being instrumental in illegal activities. including bootlegging. And here's Laporte now. It's 2 outs and Hoffman on second. Again, this is a clutch situation. Scott from the stretch trying to get out of this. The pitch to Laporte, 4-9 right-handed, walked him. Second walk this inning. So it's Laporte on first, Hoffman on second, and here's Nidge Clark. Nidge Clark was Canadian, died at age 66. Okay, Clark at the plate. This will be a clutch situation. Here's Scott now. Look at that, I got white out on my nail. And here's the pitch to Clark. 4-7 left-handed, walked him. The bases are loaded with Browns. Nidge Clark draws the base on balls. And that'll bring up Patrick Noonan. Patrick Noonan only played 2 years, 1910 and 1911. He died in 1938, age 57. He had only 62 at-bats this year, and he played. He spent, I'm reading this on Saber, as he steps up in a clutch situation. There's quite a lengthy article about him. Wow. He died of tuberculosis. You know, so you realize how deadly that was. You white out the fingernails so the pitcher can see the signs. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here's Noonan. Poor guy died of tuberculosis. It's 2 outs, bases full on 3 base on balls. Scott is ready. That's a possible wild pitch. 1-3. And no, it's stopped in the dirt by Payne. Full count on Noonan now. That's 6-10 left-handed, grounds it to third X. This is big. This could bring an unearned run or a hit or who knows what. Tannenhill is a 356. You hope his range can get it. 14-3. Oh my, E56. That's gonna score a run. It's 8. It's an error by Tannenhill. A 1-base error, scoring an unearned run. Bases loaded, still with 2 outs. That is great research indeed, and it's, referenced Bill Ivamy. Here's Bert Schotten now. Tough inning here for Scott. Schotten died at age 77 in 1962. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, the St. Louis Browns, obviously. He was a manager, that's right. And he was believed to be the last manager to wear street clothes. Connie Mack did the same thing, but they both managed the same day, October 1, 1950, but it was believed that Bert Schotten's game went later. Connie Mack, of course, wore a 3-piece suit, I believe. I believe it was 3-piece. Like it's a business. Okay, Scott trying to get out of this. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitch to Schotten, 6'5", left-handed, grounds it to short X. Weighs a 388, Zyder. You believe they made a lot of errors. 3-3 base hit goes through. And that's going to be an unearned run. Give him an RBI on that. 2 unearned runs due to the error by Tannenhill. What a first inning this is. Bobby Wallace now. Is the batter. Wallace lived a very long life. 86 years old, died in 1960. But think about all that these people missed, but I guess we missed a lot too. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So Wallace, a future Hall of Famer, 2-0 now, Browns. Here's the pitch to Wallace. That's an interesting 2-11. Grounded to third, and this time Tannenhill makes the play, and the side is retired, but 2 runs. Both of them unearned. On 1 hit, an error, 3 base on balls, and 3 left on. And after 1, it's St. Louis Browns 2, Chicago White Sox nothing. 1980, Bill Ivamy provides a great anecdote. Bobby Matic, the Blue Jays manager, wanted to manage the street clothes. The Jays president, Peter Bavasi, put the kibosh on that. My name's Jeffrey Guterman, and this is the Strat-O-Matic Network. We'll be back for more baseball in just a few minutes. Indeed. And we are back for 1911 Strat-O-Matic baseball. And what a first inning it was. The Browns capitalizing on 3 base on balls, the error by Tannenhill, and then the big base hit by Schotten. The error by Tannenhill brought in a run with 2 outs, and the single by Schotten brought in a run. And we move now to the top of the second, and here's Pelty now on the mound. Taking some warm-ups. Crowd of 1,200 here in Sportsman's Park, St. Louis. Pelty retired the White Sox in order in the first. It's going to be Patsy Doherty to lead it off. Patsy Doherty coming to the batter's box. He died at age 63. Again, about an average lifespan, give or take, for someone born in 1876. Doherty facing Pelty. And the pitch 3-8, right-handed, single 1-6. That's going to go through for a base hit. So Doherty singles 1-17. Forgot to figure Pelty -2 holds, and he's going to be a +1. So Doherty had 19 stolen, a 1-17, 1-18, 1-16 being held. And here's Nixie Callahan. Okay, Nixie at the plate. Already trying to get the lead there. 2-6, 11, and 12 on a 1-16. He gets the lead, 1-16. Here's the pitch to Callahan. There goes Patsy. And Patsy is safe. Patsy Doherty steals second base. So now it's Doherty on second and Callahan Nixie at the plate. Pitch to Callahan. That's 4-6 right-handed, double 1-4. That's a re-roll. It's got to be flat as a pancake, folks. So we're going to re-roll that. 3-5 right-handed, base hit Nixie. And Doherty rounding third comes home. And that makes it a 2-1 ball game. Just like that. 2 singles. The lead off by Patsy Doherty, stole second, came home on Callahan's base hit. Now Callahan is on 1-19, 1-20, being held 1-18. And here's Lee Tannenhill, who made that a costly error. 1-18, 2-6 and 12. He gets the lead. 2-6. He gets the lead. It's going to be 1-18. T rating 1-14. They'll let him steal it. So now a stolen base by Callahan. I forgot what the T rating rule is, if anyone wants to remind me. Is it a 1, 2, or 3? Possible error. So Callahan on second. And a full count on Tannenhill. Kathy Harden for the White Sox. That's the pitch to Tannenhill. That's 2-9 right-handed, grounds it to short, A. Runner will hold. It's fielded by Wallace, who throws to first. Callahan holds. Thank you, Joel. Yes, 1, 2, or 3 for a possible error. Thank you, Joel. And here's Tex Jones. It's a 2-1 ball game. Tex steps in. That's 4-8 right-handed, walked him. So Pelty in trouble here in the second. First and second, one out, and Fred Payne, the batter. Died at age 74. In 1954. I actually was 75. It's Jones on first, Tex Jones, Callahan on second, one out, one in. Here's the pitch to Payne. 110, ballpark slash. Right-hander 6, and it goes through, base hit. So that's going to load them up. And now the White Sox have their own kind of thing going. And here's Jim Scott, the pitcher. Bases loaded, one out. Just fixing up my iced coffee. I'm going to drink up some iced coffee until I can't stand it anymore. And then I'm going to go on to the other stuff. I just want one day with peace of mind. And this is pure fantasy, folks. This is me escaping the realities of my life. And I invite you to join me. In doing so. Okay, it's bases loaded with only one out. The infield is back for a double play. It's always a crapshoot. It's iced. And here's the pitch to Scott. 6-7, right-handed, flies to center. That's going to be deep enough for Callahan to tag. And it's a tie ball game. How do you like that? A sacrifice fly hit by Scott on a 6-7 right-handed. No question mark. And now it's first and second with two outs, and Amby McConnell comes up, grounded to short in the first. Okay, Pelty now. The pitch to Amby. 6-3 left-handed fly ball left X. This could be trouble. Whoa, Shotton, 222. Trying to get under that. Trying to get to it. 13-2. That's going to be an E22 Shotton. Oh, Lord. E22-11, he should get that. No, it's a two-base error for Bert Shotton. My Lord. Jones scores. It's unearned. And Payne goes to third. And it is a 3-2 game. Wow. Now Raleigh Zider, second and third, two outs. This is a clutch situation. Pelty trying to get out of this. 3-11 right-handed, grounds it to short for Wallace. He fields it and throws it to first. The side is out, but 3 runs for the White Sox. And we're in the middle of the second. It's a 3-2 ball game. Okay, here's Scott now. Quite a first inning and a half of baseball here. It's going to be Scott Pelty leading it off, the pitcher. I'm sorry, Barney Pelty. Oh, here's Scott, 5'9", right-handed, struck him out. 1 down. Forgot to look to see who was used in this game in real world in the relief corps. No one. Both pitched complete games. White Sox won at 6-3, as you can see. 1 out. Here's Hoffman now. He walked and scored. He scored on the error by Tannenhill. Scott winds and deals. 1-6. Grounds it to first. Scooped up by Jones. Takes it to the bag. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jimmy Austin. .18 right-handed, struck him out. So Scott throws a 1-2-3 inning there in the bottom of the second. And after 2, it's Chicago 3, St. Louis 2. It's the White Sox at the Browns. Again, the White Sox took the first 2 of this series. And Barney Pelty takes the mound for the Browns. And it'll be Matty McIntyre to lead it off. McIntyre flew to center. 4-11 left-handed, struck him out. First strikeout for Pelty. And Patsy Doherty singled and scored in the second. Doherty, left-handed hitter. .49 left-handed, struck him out. That's 2 in a row for Pelty. And Nixie Callahan, who singled and scored. 1-8, that's a base hit for Callahan, his second of the ball game. Callahan on first, 1-19, 1-20, 1-18 being held. Looks like it's probably going to be a gimme if he gets it. 2-6 and 12. The pitch to Tannenhill. He gets the lead. And 1-18, they'll let him steal it. Second time, no throw. Second stolen base for Callahan. Now Tannenhill with a full count in a clutch situation. Pitch from Pelty. 2-11, single 1-11. It's going to go through, base hit. 1 asteroid, though. So Callahan goes to third and holds. And here comes Tex Jones. This is a clutch situation. Pelty trying to get out of this. 5-8, right-handed, grounds it to second X. Laporte 441. Oh, it's a re-roll. How many times do you see? Do you go for that and then you see it's a re-roll? 310 right-handed lines it to third, and it's caught by Austin, and the side is retired. Pelty, no runs. 2 hits and 2 left on. And we move to the bottom of the third. Jim Scott in a 3-2 ball game. Here's Jim Murray to lead it off. Bottom of the third. Browns down by 1. 1-8 right-handed. Struck him out. That's 3 in a row for Scott. Now Frank Laporte. .412 right-handed. Fly ball center. McIntyre is under it. 2 away. And here's Nitch Clark. Left-handed hitter. 5-8, left-handed, fly ball center. McIntyre again under it. Makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. We've gone 3. It's a 3-2 ball game, and I'm Jeffrey Guterman. And you're watching the Strat-O-Matic Network. And this is the 1911 replay. We'll be back in just a minute. We're back at Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. White Sox lead at 3-2. And Pelty takes the mound to start the top of the 4th. Fred Payne leads it off. Pitch from Pelty, 4-5, triple 1 to 9. And that's going to be a double for Payne. A leadoff double. It was in the gap. 4-5 right-handed. And that'll bring up Jim Scott. He's a B bunter. He's a B bunter. He bunts it, or hits it, back to Pelty. 11B, strike, he fouls it off, actually. It's a full count now on Scott. Whoa, it's a possible balk or passed ball. That's a possible balk. His balk rating is a 0, so Payne on second, no outs, with Jim Scott at the plate. And the pitch 6-7, right-handed, flies it to center, and under it is Hoffman. He makes the catch, 1 out. Now here's Amby McConnell. Amby 0 for 2 reached on the 2-base error by Bert Schotten that brought in a run. Whoops. Oh, God, I hate when that happens. So McConnell with Payne on second. The pitch from Pelty. That's 2-6 right-handed. That's a non-clutch situation base hit, and Payne comes home. So McConnell with the single. After Payne doubled, it's a 4-2 ball game now. McConnell 1-15, 1-16, 1-14 being held. It's 4-2 now, Chicago. And Raleigh Zeider steps up to the plate. .612 right-handed, single 1-4. Lines it to short, and it's caught by Wallace. 2 outs. And here's Matty McIntyre with McConnell on first, being held 2 away. And the pitch. 4-7 left-handed walked him. So that's first and second, 2 away for Patsy Daugherty in a clutch situation. Daugherty 1 for 2. Pitch from Pelty. 110, he hits a nubber to first, and Noonan takes it to the bag, and the side is retired, but there was a run. On 2 hits, the double by Payne, and he was knocked home by McConnell. And it's a 4-2 game in the middle of the 4th. Out comes Jim Scott now, trying to hold the lead. It'll be Noonan, Schotten, and Wallace. Patrick Noonan steps in the batter's box. 2-7, grounds it to second for McConnell. Amby McConnell throws it to Tex Jones at first, 1 out. Now here's Bert Schotten. Singled in the first. 2-5, chops it to second for McConnell again. Over to Tex Jones, 2 outs. And Bobby Wallace, the batter. Two, 3, single 1-11. That's going to be line to short, and a pretty catch by Zeider. And the side is retired 1, 2, 3. He's retired 10 in order, Jim Scott. 10 Browns in order. It's 4-2. White Sox, we move to the top of the 5th. Barney Pelty. His first endurance is the 9th. Scott's the 8th. Pelty has allowed 2 earned runs and 2 unearned runs. Here's Nixie Callahan. He has singled twice and stole second each time. Pelty into the windup. Pitch to Callahan, 3-7 right-handed, grounded to short. Wallace throws to Noonan. 1 out. Now here's Lee Tannenhill. One eight, a grounder to third. Austin has it, and he throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Tex Jones. 4-6, right-handed, double 1 to 4. It's a base hit for Tex. Tex 1 to 15. With Pelty 1 to 16, being held 1 to 14. He's got a lot of, that's a borderline call with that 9, 10, and 12 pick off. We'll give it a break. Yes, he's being held. Here's Payne now. Jones being held on first, 2 outs. Pelty and the pitch to Payne. 5-5 right-handed, fly ball right field. That's playable by Murray. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. I just don't think I can do any more. Iced coffee. I think we've got a ball game here, 4-2. Bill Ivamy is back. Payne was one of the first to wear shin guards. I think Bresnahan was the first, but what do I know? If it was shin guards, if it was a face mask. I think you're referring to Payne. Hit 8 home runs in the Texas League game in 1902. The fence was 210 feet. down the right field line. Wow, where do you get this stuff, Bill? That's awesome. Well, it's going to be Pelty leading it off. And I'm going to use the lavatory for a moment. Time is called. Clark is in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Wow. Clark. Oh, the Browns catcher. Oh, I did not know that. That's who Bill Ivany was referring to as Barney Pelty steps in the batter's box. He is a 2 WR. 2-7 struck him out. That's 11 in order for Jim Scott. Scott was 14-11 with a 2.63 ERA. He had 26 starts. One of their better pitchers, I surmise. Now here's Danny Hoffman. Hoffman walked and scored an unearned run, grounded out to first. And Bill Ivany notes that Nitch Clark, got his nickname early in his career by a local newspaper because of his dark complexion. You know, I'd rather not. What was his first name, real world? Jim? That's worth whiting out, but no pun intended. Really, Bill Ivany. You know, Bill, you and I, and my hope is Jay. I'll leave it, but you know how we feel about racism and hatred. Okay? Okay, it's 1 out. Jim Scott, 11 in order, facing Danny Hoffman. Here's the pitch. That's 5'9" left-handed. Struck him out. That's the 5th for Scott. Oh my. Let's take a look at Nitch Clark. The bastards. And that's where a lot of these people got their, he doesn't look to see have a dark complexion to me. And I'm looking for a big picture. I can't really get a real big picture. 51-3. That was minor leagues though, right? Yeah, Texas League. Okay. Wow. Jay Clark. 2 outs, nobody on, as Scott has struck out the first 2 Browns here. Browns thought they were in a good way here, scoring 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 unearned, only to have the White Sox come back 4-2 now. Scott has retired 12 in order. Here's the pitch to Austin, switch hitter, batting left. That's 5-11. Batting left-handed, flies it to right X. That's going to be Callahan, 4-10. Bad range, not a good error. Once he gets to it, he's good. 4-10, 4-4. It drops in for a double. And there's the first base runner since the first inning for the Browns. Jimmy Austin with the double off of Scott, as Callahan could not get to it. That's going to bring up Jim Murray. And of course, you know, Bill and Joel and Kathy, that this is a clutch situation. Yeah. The pitch to Murray. Yeah, digging this game. 6-7 right-handed, chops it to second. That's going to be McConnell, Amby-Pamby, 322. See if he can, oh, it's a 2. It's going to be a base hit with 2 asteroids. And Austin comes home. That got by McConnell and then trickled into right center, allowing Austin to score. So no base runners since the first inning. Now with 2 out rally, the double by Austin and then singled home by Murray. It's a 4-3 ball game. And here comes Frank Laporte. As we were talking, I think you were here. When we were talking about Laporte's connection with the Chicago mob. Okay, it's 2 outs. It's Murray on first. Laporte at the plate. Here's Scott now. 5-6, right-handed, triple 1-12. It's hit deep into the gap by Laporte, into left center. It's going to be extra bases. Murray rounding third, coming home, and Laporte slides into third with a triple. It's a tie ball game. So with 2 outs, after striking out the first 2 batters, Scott allows the double to Austin, the single by Murray, bringing Austin home, and now the big triple by Laporte to tie up this game. Look at it again, 5-6 right-handed, triple 1-12. It was a 1, being a double die there. And here comes Jay Clark. Jay Clark. This is, this is not funny. This is not funny at all. take that shit away. That's and what I do is, folks, I like to talk about the elephant in the room that no one is talking about. I'm glad that Bill brought it up. Oh, that's a different Frank Laporte. We'll leave it to Bill to know. Oh. I was wondering what the hell that name means. His full name is J. Justin Clark. J. Justin Clark. And Clark comes up now in a clutch situation after that big triple by Laporte, not in the mob, or at least I don't think so. 2 outs. Here's Scott now. Pitch to Clark. That's going to be 6'10", left-handed, grounds it to third X. Tannenhill, he already has an error. If he doesn't get to it, he's in trouble. That's going to be a 16-3. And he does get to it, and he throws him out at first. And the side is retired. What a ball game. 2 runs. And we've gone 5 innings. It's a 4-4 ball game. I seldom write on my cards, folks. Lord. Well, what I was talking about earlier is to embrace, not embrace, but to talk about the elephant in the room, the fact that the color barrier, it's all white. You have some Native Americans. I don't see any Hispanics. And so, acknowledge how bad it is that was so. And we're going to head to the top of the 6th in what has proved to be thus far a very, very competitive ball game. Barney Pulte on the mound, back in the ball game. The Browns want to win this. They lost the first 2 of this series. It's going to be Jim Scott to lead it off. Clark was a native North American. Well, how do you like that? I'll be a horse's ass. How do you like that? That's pretty cool. But that's you got to deal with reality. Oh, thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel. You like that? Yeah, who needs to look at that? I don't like the look of it. Okay, here's Scott leading it off. He had the sacrifice fly that brought in an unearned run. Here's Pulte. That's 5'6", right-handed, flies it to left. And under it is Schotten. This time makes the catch. He had an error, committed an error in the second, which led to a run. Really, technically, you one run. Now Amby McConnell steps up here. He's 1 for 3 today. Okay, Pelty now. The pitch to McConnell. That is a 4-7 left-handed. Walked him. I'll tell you, it has been a very, very interesting ball game. Lots of action, including a triple by Laporte. Now McConnell on first, 1 to 15, 1 to 16, being held 1 to 14. Takes a damper out of that. Here's Zider now. Whoa! In the attempt, oh no, for the bunt attempt, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, with a runner on base, we do the havoc roll, and it is a possible balk or pass ball right now. That's a possible balk. He's got a 0 rating. Now we'll move ahead and have Zider attempt the bunt. Now we bring the infield stays back. He is an A. Very interesting strategy. 3A and it's good. Oh, I forgot to see who it's hit to, and it does not matter. It does not matter. Hit back to the pitcher. A 2-out sacrifice bunt. You talk about small ball. Setting it up for McIntyre. Left-handed hitter. Managed like nobody's watching. Like nobody's watching. But of course, when you get feedback, don't be defensive. Okay, McIntyre. The pitch from Pelty with Matt McConnell in scoring position. Pitch to McIntyre, 3-12 right-handed, walked him. Second base on balls. This inning given up by Pelty, and that's 4 for him. And it's going to be a clutch situation for Patsy Doherty. That doesn't, I'm really surprised at Strat-O-Matic. It just goes to show you they don't research now. Oh, I didn't know, but Bill Ivamy knew, and now I know. And who the hell, when I first saw it, I thought it just meant something like, just a nudge or I had no idea. I wonder, what kind of sourcing do you have on that, Bill Ivamy? It's okay if you don't want. I trust you. Here's Patsy Doherty. Pelty from the stretch. And the pitch. 1-6 right-handed, grounds it to first, right at Noonan. And he takes it to the bag, and the side is retired. Pelty gets out of that. And I'm telling you, the Browns are holding their own in this ball game, coming back. And here's Scott, bottom of the 6th. It'll be Noonan, Shotton, and Wallace here. Maybe I will have just a drop of iced coffee here, Kathy. As a pick-me-up. Maybe I'll just sip it. Mercer. And might I also add that it is a beautiful day here in St. Louis for this ball game, and it is a perfect late morning afternoon for a game of Strat-O-Matic 1911 baseball. Wiki page. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Okay, Scott leading it off. Bottom of the eighth, Noonan. Left-handed hitter 0 for 2, reached on the error that brought in a run. Both teams with costly errors. This is one. That's weird. I think it's each team has one error. Okay, Noonan is ready. Here's Scott. And the pitch 3-4, right-handed, walked him. That's the fourth walk given up by Scott. He walked 3 in the first. Now Noonan 1-19, my lord. Again, he only had 62 at bats. Whoops. Hello, Frank. Everybody give it up for Frank on this happy Sunday. Patrick Noonan, 1-19. 4 out of 5 stealing. 1-19 being held 1-17. Thank you, Geezer. I'm doing, I thought maybe just, well, I don't want to get into it, but I'm hanging in. Here's Noonan on first being held. Shotton at the plate. Going for the lead. 9 does not get it. Okay, here's Shotton now. B bunter. Infield stays back. He's a B. It's hit right back to Scott. That's 8B. And it's good. Scott can only go to first. And now Noonan is in scoring position with 1 out. And up comes Bobby Wallace. Scott. And the pitch to Wallace, 5-7, right-handed, struck him out. Oh, that's the 6th strikeout for Scott. And that's going to bring up Bernard Pelty, or Barney Pelty. I think his first name is Bernard, if anyone wants to confirm that. But it's a 2-outs clutch situation. And they're letting him hit. Okay, Scott gets the sign from Payne. That's 4-5, right-handed, pops it up to short. This should end the inning. Zeider under it, he makes the catch, and the side is retired. How do you like that? We've gone 6, and we're heading to the top of the 7th. Barney Pelty. He's allowed 4 runs, 2 of them unearned. One of them unearned, I'm so sorry. Scott has allowed 4 runs, 2 of them unearned. And we move to the top of the 7th. Here's Nixie Callahan. 2 for 3 today. Tannenhill on deck. That's 2-12, single 1 to 6. Line to short. Right at Wallace. It's 1 out. Barney. Okay. A pure Barney. Okay. You know, sometimes Bernard will shorten to Barney, you know. I could be wrong about that. That just entered my... I could be wrong about that. The names are fantastic, except with that one exception, unless there are more. The chief names, there's a lot of chief. And some of them are for Native Americans, and some of them are not Native Americans. It's a very common nickname. Chief Bender. I mean, there's so many of them, though. But there's some history. I'm not justifying anything. No. Did he really? I never heard Fred Flintstone call Barney Bernard, but okay. Here's Tannenhill. Facing Pelty, 5'8", right-handed, grounds it to second X. It's been a great game. Hate to see it end. Laporte, a 441, may have trouble. That's a 3-4, it'll be a base hit. Goes past Laporte. Yeah, I can imagine it might have been in a context when he was speaking well of his friend or respecting his friend, sort of to make him, I'm a big Flintstones, original only. Okay, Tannenhill is on first with the go-ahead run. It's 4-4 ball game. Here's the pitch to Jones. 2-6 right-handed, grounds it to short, no one being held. That's going to be Wallace to Laporte, and then over to Noonan for the inning-ending first double play in this ball game. And we weren't holding Tannenhill. Look at his, you can see his base running. I don't even know what that means. Okay. Nothing? I mean, 0 or he can never get the lead? He can never get the lead. And he can't do anything. But he had one stoke. Wait a minute. He had 0. You got to just, I guess that means you just got to get it out of your mind to even try to get a lead or attempt to steal. He was not being held, Tannenhill. And that's Tannenhill right there with the I guess that's what that means. We have gone 6 1/2 innings. It's the 7th inning stretch. We'll take a break for a few minutes. It's a 4-4 ball game. My name is Jeffrey Guterman, and you are watching the Strat-O-Matic Network. Well, it's been quite a ball game. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 4-4 tie. In the third game of a 3-game series in my 1911 Strat-O-Matic replay. It's April 19. Jim Scott, who has handled himself very nicely at times in this ball game, had retired 12 in order after the first when he allowed 2 unearned runs. Scott trying to keep the White Sox in this ball game. These folks go the long haul. It's going to be Danny Hoffman leading it off. Scott. The windup and the pitch. 1-5. Grounds it to second. And that's for McConnell. Amby McConnell throws it out to Tex Jones at first. There's one away here in the bottom of the 7th. If you like close games, this one is for you. Jimmy Austin now switch hitter batting left. 1 out, nobody on. That's 4-7, switch hitter batting left, walked him. That's the 5th walk allowed by Scott. Again, I repeat myself, he walked 3 in the first. And then the error by Tannenhill. And it went from there. A big base hit by Bert Schotten. Even though Schotten made an error out in left that contributed to an unearned run. Now Austin's on first, 1-15. Tell you, 24 is an awfully good set. Hello, Craig. Yeah, you got to bring them to life, though. I meant to life. And that was a class again. In fact, it's on YouTube. They chronicle it with footage. Austin on first, 1-15. It's a borderline. I guess it's a hold, 1-13. Better than the alternative. Even though he's look at that, 8, 10, and 12, that's borderline. He's being held. That way I can separate myself from some managerial decisions. Here's Jim Murray now. You don't want to always penalize the defense for holding a runner. But it's 1 out. Austin on first. Okay, was it an error? Though, was it charged an error, Bill Ivamy? Here's Murray 1 for 3, singled and scored on Laporte's triple to tie up this ball game. Austin on first, 1 out. Scott. And the pitch to Murray. That's 1-6 right-handed, grounded back to Scott. He turns and throws it to McConnell at second to get Austin. And It's 2 outs with Murray on first. And here's Laporte, the other Frank Laporte. Scott gets the sign from Payne. That's 5-8, right-handed, fly ball center. This is playable. It's high and it's for McIntyre to make the catch, and the side is retired. So we have gone 7. I figured this would be a great season to do when it was available. Oh, it was a bad hop single. Okay. And wasn't Johnson on the mound? They brought him in. It's a nice chronicling they do on YouTube. It shows that he was kind of iffy in his starts in the World Series, I believe, but he was at the end of his career, but they brought him in. He wasn't on the mound at that moment, of course. Well, we moved to the top of the 8th in a tie ball game. And it's Pelty. His first endurance is the 9th. In case you're interested, Barney was 7-15 with the lowly Browns, 2.83 ERA, but a good pitcher. This year, at least. And here's Fred Payne. We have no qualms about letting these people stay in the ball game. Pelty facing Payne, and the pitch. That's going to be 3-9 right-handed, grounded to third. Austin has it, throws it to Noonan. That's 1 away. And here comes Scott. Scott's still holding good baseball. They had a bad couple innings, but otherwise it's been very tough. Kept them in the ball game. Scott will hit. That's 210, and he struck him out on a 1 card. It would have been a walk, which is the only non-out on the card. That's 2 down, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Barney Pelty. And we move to the top of the order, Amby McConnell. 1 for 3, singled and walked. He singled home a run after Payne doubled. Actually, he went. Yeah, he sure did. McConnell up at the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. That's going to be 3-11 right-handed, flies it to right. And Murray under it, a 1-2-3 inning for Bernard Pelty. I'm sorry. There's something surreal about this game. To me, something awfully surreal. Walter got the win. Next year, the opposite happened. Are you telling me the Senators were in the 25 series also? And who'd they play? Pittsburgh? I could be wrong. Get some confusion. I didn't know the Senators won the pennant 2 years in a row. Wow. See, I knew it was Pittsburgh. Pirates were swept by the 27 Yankees. I guess Pittsburgh was a good team back then. Here's Jay Clark now. Leading it off, bottom of the 8th, a tie ball game, anybody's ball game. And Jay Clark steps in the batter's box. Here's Scott now, the windup. And the pitch, 6-7, left-handed, grounds to second X. That's going to be McConnell, 322. It's about average. That's a 1-3 single for Jay Clark. And Clark is on 1-13 with Scott. He will not be held. Here's Patrick Noonan, a D bunter. Scott from the stretch. 2-11, walked him. Whoa. That's the 6th walk given up by, I wonder if I should start counting walks also cumulatively. 6th walk given up by Noonan. First and second, nobody out. The Browns bring up Bert Schotten. Schotten's had a good game, except, well, he did make the 2-base error out and left. Fluke that scored a run on an unearned run, but he has also singled, a home run, and he did get a sacrifice with no runs scored. Kiki Kyler, Pie Trainer, Joe Cronin, the Warner Brothers, of course, Paul and Lloyd. I couldn't remember the second one, Lloyd. The Warner Brothers. Yeah, that's a good team. Pie Trainer is considered one of the best at third. And this was the modern era. You know? Modern era, according to many historians, is punctuated at 1920, when the ball was livened. It's first and second, nobody out. Schotten at the plate. He's hitting away. That's 4-8 left-handed. Walked him, number 7 for Scott. And Scott has reached fatigue. Big poison and little poison. That's right, Frank. It's funny how you can forget things like that. He walked him 4-8 left-handed. And Schotten's, whoa, I'm so sorry. Schotten's first endurance is the 8th. That's going to be it for Jim Scott. So Jim Scott coming out. As the Browns threatening with bases loaded, nobody out. Schott pitched 7 innings. Five hits. Pitched well from the second inning to 2 outs in the 5th. No base runners. Jesus, he walked 7. Struck out 6 and has allowed 4 runs, 2 of them unearned. And we're going to take a look to see who's going to come in here for Jim Scott. I'm going to tell you there's a rationale for this. Big Ed Walsh. And you want to know something? He pitched in relief on the 20th, and that gives me carte blanche to use him today. Oh yeah, it's going to be Big Ed Walsh coming in. Who could be better? 27 and 18, 2.22 ERA. Big Ed Walsh taking the mound, digging into that mound. Digging into that rubber, taking some warm-ups. Walsh has a record of 1-1 already in this replay. Big Ed Walsh to make it exciting. You talk about spitballs. He practically invented it. Big Ed Walsh coming in a 4-4 ball game. If anybody could do it, it's Big Ed Walsh. Big poison and little poison. Okay, Walsh is ready. The White Sox are playing the infield in. Bobby Wallace is the batter. Wallace 0 for 3 today. Big Ed Walsh, full windup. Pitch to Wallace, 6'8", right-handed, flies it to center, and that's going to be deep enough for Clark. And Jay Clark scores on the fly ball by Wallace. That makes it a 5-4 ball game. How do you like that? Walsh got him to fly it out, but unfortunately for Walsh and the White Sox, it was deep enough. McIntyre made the catch, deep enough for Clark to score. It's now a 5-4 ball game, St. Louis. He was the last 40-game winner. I did not know that. Big Ed Walsh. And it's going to be Pelty coming up. His first endurance is the 9th, and he's the winner of record now. Winner of record, Kathy Horton. Here's Pelty. Pitch from Big Ed Walsh. 3-5, grounds it to short, and that will be an inning-ending double play. First double play for the White Sox. It was Zyder to McConnell, and then over to Tex Jones to retire the side. But a run scored. And I guess you can't blame Walsh too much. Scott gets charged for 3 earned runs, 2 unearned runs. He's the loser of record. And Bernard Pelty is coming out to win this ball game. Shesbro 41. Yeah, I remember that. Shesbro. And this has been quite a ball game. Don't hold the White Sox out. Heart of their order. Pelty takes the mound in his first endurance inning. It will be Zyder, McIntyre, and Doherty. Here's Raleigh Zyder. Barney into his windup. That's 2-6, and it's tapped back to Pelty. And he throws it to Noonan, one down. Now the Matty McIntyre at the plate. Matty 0 for 2, walked twice. Pelty winds and deals. That's 210, right-handed. Fly ball left field. Shotton makes it that time. And the White Sox down to one last out here in a very interesting game. 5-4 St. Louis Browns. Here's Pelty now. The pitch to Doherty. 6-6 left-handed, fly ball left. This should end the game. Shot and under it makes the catch. And the ball game is over. I guess you'd call it an upset because this is not a very good St. Louis team. The final is St. Louis 5, Chicago 4. I'll have my wrap up in just a moment. Well, quite an interesting ball game. I think Spokane on at 4:30 is correct. Thank you, Bill Ivamy. Thank you, Frank, and of course Kathy Harden, Craig Scarborough, the Geezer, and everybody else out in that Strat-O-Matic, Bill Ivamy, Joel Horland, everybody out in the Strat-O-Matic network. Thank you for being here. It's not an easy game for me to recap because there were so many critical moments in the ball game. Scott pitched very good baseball for a time and eventually reached fatigue, and Big Ed Walsh came in, but he allowed the sacrifice fly to bring in, charge to Scott, the winning run. The line is St. Louis 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and they were out hit by Chicago, 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Laporte had a triple after Austin doubled, and then Murray singled. It was quite a game. I enjoyed it. The base on balls caught up to Scott. That's a very, very good observation. He walked 7. Thank you for that observation. And if anyone else has any other observations, I would be more than glad to share them. In what was a relatively meaningless yet enjoyable ball game, see you soon, Kathy Horton. Thank you very much. I'm going to enter this one in the standings and update the pitchers' records who got decisions. This will make Chicago 3-3. And St. Louis 2-5. They broke a 4-game losing streak. 7, 10, 16, 22. Now I'll add the loss to Scott. He is now 2-1 already in this early season. And Pelty gets the win. He's 1-0. And that was Pelty's first appearance of the season because I pulled him. To pitch. And the reason, let me just email this to myself. Game 47. The reason that Barney Pelty was brought in at all was because Doty Chris who pitched 28 innings or maybe less even, has a hitter's card. He pitched, and I would have used the nameless player. I just went with someone else. Again, Doty Chris ended up losing this game anyway. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast of the Strat-O-Matic Network. Stay strong, stay well, and I'll catch you all next time, okay?